All right. Hello, hello. My name is Daniel Jacob Horine, creator of Pop Fly Pop Shop, and I am without my faithful host Evan Sixon today, but I am joined by artist and baseball fanatic and Dick Allen super friend Andy Woolley and Richard Allen Jr. Correct?
Yes.
The son of the late great Dick Allen. So I am absolutely honored to be here. I will do my best to channel my inner host. I'm an artist, not a host, but I can chat. That I can do, and that's what we'll do here. Tell us about your father. Tell us about who was your father as you knew him as a professional and just as a human being.
Well, there was something that was said that when he was in high school at 15, he was told that he'd never play another game of basketball for Williamsport, from Wampum High School. He said, well, that's fine with me. Basketball practice came around. My Uncle Hank saying, what are you doing, man? We got to go to practice. He said, he told me that I would never play another game. He said, so I'm not going. So my father said, after class, one day, the basketball coach said, I want to speak to you. He said, look, we agree to let you back on the team. We'll see you at practice. Practice comes around, he goes home, doesn't go to practice again. My Uncle Hank asked him why. He said, you heard him. He said I was back on the team. He didn't say I was playing. So, he's like, he only read between the lines, or he had his own way. And he's always been the kind of person that said, I marched to the beat of my own drum.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he wore that trailblazer as a badge of honor. It's like me now living in Florida. I've always wanted to live in Florida. And he just said, well, do it. Make it happen. So, for the controversy, that's I think everyone else has a problem with, but he's good with it. He was good with it.
Mm-hmm. That's great, and I was really grateful to connect with you too about regarding the piece, because it was your idea to talk about the his love of horses and Blaze and him being a trailblazer. I feel that was really important in bringing the piece together, and it was
something. I could tell you about that part if you
please,
like.
Please.
As a kid, because his love of horses, as a kid he had stick horses, and he had a stable of stick horses, and they all had names. And so they were piling up and they'd get in the way. And so my grandmother would yell at him, and he'd say, he's going to own a horse one day. She just would say, whatever. When he got the money, he bought a horse. Horse's name Blaze. And he was decked out from the jean jacket, the leather bucket cowboy seats. The horse was decorated. He was dressed up. And from what I understand, he used to ride the horse in Fairmount Park. He had the horse stabled somewhere in Fairmount Park, so when he wanted to go for a ride, he could go for a ride.
He used to tell me that he liked horses better than people.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you ever went to the track with him, he would be down. He'd always stand by the paddock watching the horses walk around, and he truly and honestly believed that the horses were the best athletes in the world.
I remember you said he's a horse whisperer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He could look a horse in the eyes and say, this one's ready to run. Go put some money on it. And darn if you didn't win.
I love it. So Richard, what are we've got a Hall of Fame election right around the corner. And your dad's on the ballot. What kind of thoughts and feelings are kind of swelling around as we've got this just a few weeks away, days away?
Well, I was good 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm starting to get a little, flashbacks. But I think this time around, I feel there's better chances than I got for support from people, friends and family, and I'm thinking it's going to be a better outcome.
Yeah, I think there's more momentum around this time. Yeah, there's more momentum. The Phillies did a great job last year when they retired his number. So many people have come out and said, and the advanced analytics have changed the view of kind of Dick's career.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised and unbelievably disappointed if this time it doesn't happen. But it's important to us. I can tell you for a fact that it wasn't that important to him.
No, not at all. Several times he asked me to call the dogs off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't like the attention. Baseball's a team sport, not an individual sport. He recognized it meant more to us, but he would be very uncomfortable with all the attention.
So would you see that would he view the Hall of Fame, like, if he was still with us and he got in, would he view it as a negative, like, oh, all this attention?
Honestly, I know he would be honored,
Mm-hmm.
but to be sort of like myself, to be on a stage and everybody's saying, "Oh wow, you're great, you're this and that," blah blah blah. It's when people say, "Oh, I saw you hit one," blah, blah, he just go, that's just it. I mean, he just didn't like that center of attention.
Yeah.
But he would be honored. He really would, because he used to sit and he would ask about, who won in this year, and what did they do anything? Where what were their stats? He was curious, and he from times he would say, I'm not up there, but I could play with those guys.
What was his reaction with the Phillies number retirement? How did he receive that?
At first he went, "Well, why would they do that?" So, and I called him. I said, "That's big, Dad." He went, "Well, they didn't have to." I said, "No, they didn't. That's what makes it so big." I mean, and then he said, "Well, why?" I said, "Look, what you did, what you went through. I mean, it's coming to light now. But you're being patted on the back for the things that you did and went through, and you shouldn't have had to, but you did it anyway."
Yeah.
He was definitely honored and
Yes.
humbled by it. Again, he didn't really understand all the attention, but I think deep down inside he appreciated what the Phillies did, because the Phillies' old policy was they don't retire numbers until someone's in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner of the Phillies changed that policy specifically for Dick, to honor Dick. And I'm glad they did, because that was a great weekend. But
that's fantastic. And you mentioned a little bit, Richard, and if you're comfortable, I'd like to go there a little bit, just kind of what he went through. In my research and with talking with Andy, he had a rough, and that's putting it very mildly, a rough experience in Little Rock. But if you can speak to some of his experience and kind of what he went through.
From the things that he has told me when he got there, they had the signs. He didn't want to get off the plane. He felt like they were going to kill him right there. Someone from the Phillies met him there and got him to the hotel. He said, "I had 3 days, and after the 3 days I could stay at the hotel, but he would have to pay." So he said getting there, he couldn't eat. He tried to order food and wasn't successful. He said he called room service. He said the guy came up with the cart. He opened the door. He saw it was him, and that he was black, and he pulled the cart back. Took the cart. He said Joe Lynette was rooming across the hall. He ordered food, and my father went over to his room to eat. And so he said that was the first 3 days there. But that and other things, he's saying he went to go get a soda and had a cop pull his gun out at a gunpoint. It's like, things like that, and where the visiting teams could eat at the hotel, he couldn't. But he'd go deep into the woods with some of these stories, but it's almost like he wanted me to say this now. Now that I'm thinking about it, he'd say, but the thing he got out of it the most was that when he went there, he was the most hated person. When he left there, he was the fan favorite. Because he won something in Little Rock. I think he won. Did he win the batting title?
I don't know if he won the batting title, but he led the team in home runs and RBIs.
Okay, well maybe that's it, because he was the favorite.
He was. Fans voted him the most valuable player of the team. Which is pretty phenomenal considering.
So he took that out of all of it,
and there were quite a few major leaguers on that team as well.
Yeah. And he believed all that happened in Little Rock prepared him for that next stage in Philly. So he's one of those guys that, things happen for a reason. Just makes you better.
It's a amazing perspective. Do you think, Richard, is there anything that your dad would have wanted the fans to know that he didn't get a chance to say?
That's a good question, because he always felt like, let me put it this way. He used to always tell me, being a man, you got to make a decision, whether a right one or a wrong one. If it's the wrong one, it takes a bigger man to say he's wrong. So I don't know if there's anything that he would say, or, I don't think he has regrets like that. He's one of those, well, let's go forward and we can change things going forward. So, but I think he used his personality as a shield. And we were talking about the inner circle, because once you get in that inner circle, you can't get out, and you really get to know, who he is and the type of person he is that he really is. He's not. He was a lion without claws, basically.
I love it. I love it. I mentioned this a little bit in the beginning. Actually, before I get there, I'm going to show the art piece, and I'd love to hear any of your thoughts, Richard, on the art piece, and what do you think your dad would have thought of it?
Well, I know he would love the wampum. That last year in Oakland, recognizing the class of 1960, he just his small town values and ways, he liked and respected that more. He I'll never forget, I was 5th grade. We went to Chewton, which is really where he was from, and we're riding around, and he's showing me.
Chewton is a suburb of Wampum.
Yeah. He's showing me where he used to hit stones and break windows, and they had the games and all. And that's when he had his Lincoln, that big blue Lincoln, and he pulls up, and this person's just watching us sitting on their porch. And he pulls up, and he goes, "You probably don't remember me." And they just go, "I know who you are." They don't blink. They don't do anything. They just nothing fazed them. And after he passed, even I'm at the local store, and they go, and I pay with my card, and they see the Richard Allen, like, "You're the son, huh?" It's like, he used to come in here. He'd have a nickname. He'd say, "Oh, he used to call me such and such," and yeah, he speak to everybody. That small town. It's different out there.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that really stood out to me, and where I was going to say earlier is just that really changed the direction of the piece. Last December when I started it, it was Crash, the Wampum Walloper, because there was the obviously the helmet and whatnot, and the Wampum Walloper was a kind of a tagline.
Yeah.
but as I just dug into it and throughout the year and I just learned more and researched more, I saw how close Wampum was to his heart, and to his story. And I read about that Oakland team. When he arrived at Oakland, number 15 was on Claudell Washington's back already.
Wow.
Remember? So I asked him what number, and without skipping a beat, said 60 for Wampum High School, class of 1960. Like, I don't know that I would, off the top of my head, just name my high school from where I grew up.
Yeah, I know.
But Wampum was a special place to him, that as far as I could tell, and it seemed important to tell that side of the story to make it a Dick Allen story versus like a Dick Allen decoration.
Yep.
So.
Right. That's great. I mean, what I was gonna say before is like, he said he could be on the field, say like batting practice or something. No, not batting practice. But, like between games, if he were to hear, so he could hear the insults and all this, but he'd hear someone go "sleepy," and he knew that was someone from home.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Everyone there calls him Sleepy.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a story behind that?
Well, they say his eye. He'd say he had a sleepy eye, and he always looked like he was asleep.
That I never noticed. That was not included in my art piece.
No, but back to the art piece. How I think it relates to him because of, in some stories you hear it's like, it's like a freak of nature. A guy 5'10" and a half, 500-foot home runs, 32 waist, but shoulders and forearms and hands. I mean,
massive.
We had a riding mower, and I got something tangled up with like a chain underneath the riding mower.
Mm-hmm.
He heard it stop. He went over to me. He said, "What happened?" I said, "I think something got caught up underneath." I'm still sitting on it. He picked it up with his left hand, untangled it with his right hand, put me back down, and said, "Now go ahead and finish."
I think my art piece was a documentary. It wasn't a work of fiction.
Yeah. No, very strong man.
Oh wow. Yeah, when I was envisioning it, again marinating with the thought and all that I had been learning about your father, just again knowing how close he was to his hometown. It's just I thought of it in terms of a local legend. What would you hear about the Phoenix Lights or some regional folklore, like what would the Wampum Walloper look like, and that's given with his larger than life personality and his presence. It felt like it needed to go there. So I'm glad it resonated with you.
Looks great. Daniel.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Well, I'll let you go, Richard. Andy, if you can stay on for just a few extra minutes, we can talk baseball art.
Sure.
Richard, I'll let you go, but I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, and I wish you nothing but the best for the vote in a couple days. And I hope we're doing what we can to bring visibility to your dad, and with the voting coming up, for anyone who's watching, a portion of the proceeds, both from the Dick Allen Estate and myself, will be going to the Major League Baseball RBI program, and which brings baseball to the inner city youth and at-risk youth. So every purchase goes to help that program, which was that was your idea, the Dick Allen Estate's idea to do that. So thank you for that. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for your participation. I am nothing but honored and blessed to be talking with you here, Richard. Thank you for joining me, and have a lovely week. And we'll see you in the news in December.
Hey. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for doing what you did, and RBI was one of his things to keep going. He
Awesome.
really wanted to keep baseball going in the inner city. So
I love it. I'm
all a
honored
good
to
thing.
join you with that.
Thanks again.
Take care, Richard.
All right.
Bye.
Later, bud.
Wow. Wow. That's what a guy. What a family. What a guy. I'm very very grateful for you connecting the dots, Sandy.
I'm very honored to be able to do that. My sole purpose on all this stuff is to, improve Dick's opportunity to get into the Hall of Fame, even though, it's more important to us than him. But also, I'm pretty close with Richard and the entire Allen family. So it's fun.
That's great. And yeah, I definitely feel you as a fan turned friend with Dale Murphy. We were talking
Right.
offline how there's a lot of parallels here, but I think same thing with Dale. I think he would want the Hall of Fame for what it means to his family and to his friends and fans and also deserving of the Hall as well.
There was a good article in I think it was MLB.com this week where they interviewed Hank, which is Dick's older brother, and Hank was talking about how much Richard looks like and talks like and mannerisms just like his father, and God willing, if he gets in, Richard will be a fantastic deliverer of the speech. And most people will think it's Dick just because of the way that Richard delivers things. So
I love it. I love it. I know that we had talked prior, but do you mind just giving a quick little rundown of how you became Dick Allen fan to Dick Allen friend?
Yeah. So first baseball game my father ever took me to was in the early 70s in Chicago. My dad was a White Sox fan. I grew up in the southwest corner of Michigan. White Sox were the closest team. And in 72, 73, and 74, Dick Allen was the superstar for not only the White Sox, but the American League. And as a young 6, 7, 8-year-old, it made quite an impression. With a shiny batting helmet, the hush that would come over the crowd, Nancy Faust playing the organ. Dick Allen was the first guy to ever have walk-up music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nancy used to play the theme from Jesus Christ Superstar, believe it or not.
Wow.
And she still talks about it. She's a great Twitter follow. But Nancy Faust is the former organist for the White Sox. So I was a big Dick Allen fan. In the early days of the internet, I started collecting as many Dick Allen photos as I could find. And then I started a blog called Dick Allen Hall of Fame, and posted a lot of photos. That's kind of where I started doing baseball art. And at one point, I got an email from Richard Allen Jr. He and I started connecting, found out that we're the same age. Obviously, we have a lot in common in that we both adore his father. And we eventually made a plan to meet up, and we met in Chicago one summer and became friends. Eventually became connected with his father. When Dick agreed to launch a website, they asked me to start and run the DickAllen15.com, which led to Twitter and Instagram and all that other stuff. And it was really about trying to change the public perception of Dick. But Dick and I became friends throughout that whole process because I stayed very true with making sure that he knew what people were asking and give him an opportunity to answer that type of thing. Dick wasn't a technology guy, but he certainly understood the importance of kind of connecting with people. So that's how we became friends, and we became very good friends. And he told me he considered me one of his sons. So, which very, very honoring to me, and I hold that very dear.
That's an incredible story, and it's interesting, and maybe you've experienced this too. You know, I'll raise my hand. I'll say Dale Murphy superfan.
Yep.
It's interesting to have become friends with your hero, and in a way, I stopped. This is gonna sound bad. I stopped collecting Dale Murphy stuff, a lot of Dale Murphy stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as I get to know him, and also as I get older, you realize that experience replaces the things.
Right.
And so
I agree. I've got just about everything Dick Allen you can imagine, but the most important things are the things that I got in here and in here. I spent a lot of time with him the last couple of years. He had some ideas that he wanted to work out. So we spent a lot of time talking. I did a lot of recordings, videos, that type of stuff. As time goes on, I'm sure that stuff will become useful. But it was sad to have him go. But he was ready.
Yeah, it was. When I reached out, I had no idea.
Well, how would you? He was a very private person, even to the point where, when we were talking about this piece, I said to him, "Hey, there's this artist. He's really good. He wants to do this thing," and he was like, "Yeah." I said, are you up for it? And he says, "Yeah, let's. I've got to keep living." So it was something he knew about. It was something he was interested in, cancer's a terrible thing.
Yeah. Man. Well, I'm honored that he at least knew about it. I wish he could have seen it. At the same time, too, I think just the time, the distance that I was able to have, I made it a more personal piece in the end. And that aspect I'm grateful for. But I certainly wish that he was here to enjoy it with us and to enjoy, what's going on in December.
Yeah.
But
we'll see. I'll be in Florida with Richard and the family, and we hope that we'll be celebrating.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I know you feel good about it. So, baseball writers, if you're listening,
it's not the baseball writers. It's the there's 12 former players and executives. We don't know who's on that committee yet. I think we know one person. But it really boils down. Last time in 2014, he missed by one vote by this same process, right? So we hope that there's been enough momentum, enough awareness. Like I said, the advanced analytics have really changed the conversation.
Oh yeah.
I always felt that the further we got away from the negative sports writer view of Dick, and the closer we got to the reality of what he did on the field, the better chance he would have. And I think hopefully we've gotten that far.
Yeah, and I think so too. And even just from this is by no means a gauge, but just as a baseball fan on the internet, and this is in large part by your great work. I think just the awareness of him is in a different level than it was.
Yeah.
Not that long.
No doubt about it. I see much more positive. Every once in a while, you'll get someone with a negative view, but it's overwhelmingly positive. I do a lot of Dick Allen pieces. I'm on this string the last 30 days where I'm creating a new card every day, just kind of anticipation. And the response that I get from those is very, very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the work you do, and the what's so evident and so clear in your work, especially with the Dick Allen pieces, is just your honor and reverence
Yeah.
for someone. It's not just decoration,
No.
It's
for me, it's it's personal.
Yeah.
And as I've done this for a long time, you've gotten better with technique and better with your eye, and what you thought was great 5 years ago, you're probably not, have that, and as a photographer, I know what I like.
Yeah.
I'm learning the graphic design side of it. And baseball cards are a perfect mix of all the things that I love.
Love it. Well, your work is fantastic. I bought some of it myself. We didn't mention where you can get your work.
Yeah. So right at when DickAllen15.com was kind of going, it hasn't never gone away, but my work on it has slowed down just because Dick's no longer around. I was looking for an outlet, and so I created a new project I call Millburg Trading Cards. Millburg being the tiny little town in Michigan where I grew up, and I don't only do Dick Allen stuff, but it's a lot of what I do. So MillburgTradingCards.com. We're doing all kinds of new things. We do custom baseball cards. A couple months ago, I started doing ticket cards where I embed inside a card, a ticket. Just recently, I started doing like autographs. For example, just recently did this one. This is a Dave Henderson autograph that I got and created the card. Just having fun. Not, it's not my full-time job, and it certainly doesn't pay all my bills, but it buys me paper and ink.
I love it. I bought the Dale Murphy ticket card. I think it's such a great idea, and I'm not. I would be drowned in my own collection if I collected everything. So I've kept collecting only to his playing years.
Yes.
And then anything extra is just things that I absolutely love and have to have. I by no means am trying to get all of it. So translating, I don't buy a lot anymore. But when I saw that ticket card, I was like, I got to have one of those. I love it. So honored to have that.
I'm glad you like it. We'll there's a lot of ticket cards out there. I'm actually doing custom ones now where people are reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, I went to a game at Wrigley Field. My first game I went with my son. Can you make a ticket card for that?" And the neat thing about ticket cards is, I believe every baseball game there's something unique that happens, right? And so it allows you to kind of capture that memory and moment in something that is tangible, something you can hold.
Oh, I love it. Now that I hear you do personal ones, I'm thinking back to going to games with my dad. I got so now I'm like, what game? How do I figure out the dates? To get a ticket from those games. So
Baseball Reference is a great way to find dates. Simply because, sorry, my dog is going nuts in the background. The Baseball Reference, look up every game, the full schedule of every year. If you remember what someone did, who the winning pitcher was, who the teams were about the right time, I can help you find it. I'm real good at that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andy. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate everything that you've done. Your stuff is fantastic. I'm honored that we got connected.
Oh, the honor is truly mine. It's truly mine. Thank you, Andy. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as a reminder, the Dick Allen print is available on popflypopshop.com for just another couple days at the time of this recording. It retires on the 28th, I believe, November 28th, and a portion of both from me and from the Dick Allen estate will be going to the MLB RBI program, which was near and dear to Dick Allen's heart. So thank you again, everyone, and we'll see you next time, and take care.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Daniel. See you.
Thanks, Andy. Bye.